All right, good morning and welcome to your Wednesday. Folks, you never know. We are in 2024 and congratulations for making this far. For those of you who are not privileged to get the link, man, y'all suck. I'm just kidding. So there's a group of like 8 or 10 people that in a Facebook message group that the link just goes out to. So John came in for a few minutes. If you guys are not aware, John was in an car accident yesterday. He was traveling through an intersection at near 40 miles an hour when some idiot ran a red light and spun him around and totaled his Jeep. Both airbags went out. Um, really, uh, they had to cut Lori out. Dazed, she was very dazed and confused for quite a bit. For those you don't know, um, Lori doesn't see out of one eye, doesn't hear out of the other ear, and so any kind of disorientation like that really. So if you're the praying type, pray for their healing. They are. John just said he's really sore and he's thankful that Lori's moving around. But and one minute you're living your best life, and the next minute an idiot runs a red light and can take you out. And
Mm.
yeah, Phil, John and Lori. So
They're both okay. They're both gonna be okay. But
the I, I forget he said he hit right on the back axle and pushed the back axle out of. When you look at it, it doesn't look that bad until you realize uh, just the sheer force of a car wreck. So
just when he said that it pushed the back axle over, that's pretty significant. It doesn't have to look bad to be bad, you know.
Mm.
Both airbags going out, that in itself can cause some damage.
yeah, the sheer force of okay. So you never know, folks. It's people always say you're not guaranteed tomorrow, and then until it happens or something happens to someone around you, you don't understand. But yeah, it's a
I
good
re-
it's a good
I
time to
I,
count the blessings.
I ran a red light once and I whacked a kid. Luckily, if I had been a few inches forward, that kid would probably not be with us, and I would have had to live with that guilt for the rest of my life. You know, I had my pickup truck with my plow attachment, not the plow, but the plow attachment was on there. And boy, did it do some damage to that kid's car.
Yeah,
And
that photo,
I still think about it.
Javis, that photo doesn't look as bad, but I think that's before the frame and everything is shifted because they couldn't get that door open. They had to cut the door out. So that's before they. Um, it's a good time. 2024 started by what you're thankful. We always say, it's very cliche that what you're thankful for, but so I grabbed this morning because all my regular and this is one of Johnny's. This is where she got treatment. That's where she volunteers. She, she got bad. And I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but she comes home and says, she calls me and she's like, "Are you around?" I'm like, "Yeah." Or she texts me and she's like, "Because I'm going to call you as soon as it's over. I just want to make sure you're." And so her Tuesday partner, uh, one of her one of her better friends, they talk a lot all during the week and have really bonded over the last couple of years of cancer is back after 12 years. You never, folks, you never know. Uh, they think they've called it early and they think she's got a great outcome again. But yeah, Jabus, that's what he was saying. It was very traumatic. Hey, good morning, Ed. Let's see who's here. Phil, good morning. Good morning, Martha. Tracy. Hey, Tracy, it was a good idea for me to buy that thing because um, so I got a topic we'll talk about in just a second. So yesterday, if y'all don't know, on the way to Wings, Tracy and I meet at the local thrift store that's on the way, and and I have moved the shipping station around like 3 times, and I just finished the fourth installment of what it is, and that's what it looked like last night. I'm like, I really need to after moving everything around. I'm like, I need to disconnect everything and reconnect everything. So So Tracy, it was a good idea. I found it's a, I think I can find it on eBay. Belkin made a here it is. So Belkin make this big monster that closes and has like 11 plugs in it.
Mm.
So that's what it looks like when it's closed, and so that's over there on the counter now. Everything plugged in through that one thing. So it's made it. It was $3, and it was senior day, so it made it what, $2.30.
But you're not.
According to them, I am. So hey, let's go.
I was, when I first started doing this show, my beard was still dark, and now I'm gray now, and I get it now. But the first year I did this show, I walked into the Goodwill, and they asked me if I was a senior citizen or not. Of course, I said no.
I hang out
Now,
with Tracy, and Tracy gets the discount. I'm like, what? And they don't even ask me anymore. If you go somewhere with someone who maybe looks your senior, like I just look at Tracy and go, "Yes, Dad," and they give us both the discount. So, hey Scott, good morning. Hey, good morning, James. Let's see who else did we miss. Tactical Z, good morning. Tom, good morning. Flip it good, good morning. The one that doubts my ability to tell time. Good morning to you too. Mr. King, good morning. It's nice over there now, and yeah. So here's the question I got for you. As I've watched a lot of videos over the last year and working on self improvement, and you see a lot of content that's pushed towards what successful people do and what successful people look like. And my question to the group is, when your tendencies go opposite of what the quote average successful person does, like most get up before everyone else and have a morning routine. Folks, I have tried for a year to be a morning person. I've tried to have a morning routine. I am not that guy. I've always been the night owl. I have always been the person that. So last night, here's a great example. Last night, because that's been my weakness, and as I've self reflected over I've been encouraging you guys to do the same thing. Figure out where you can be better, and I think I need to play to my strengths and not as much work on a weakness, because the so-called successful. Last night I get home from Wings, and last year I would have said it's a successful day. I got up, halfway early, even though I didn't get going until the same time I would have anyway. I never put the routines in place, and so after dinner I would not do a lot, and I lost 4 or 5 hours of productivity where I was in previous years very good at. And so, come to Jesus meeting with myself last night, that I get home from Wings, and I'm like, what the hell's Dave doing? Let's check in with Dave. I got some jokes for him anyway. He's probably asleep this morning, and get on the phone with him on headphones. End up working until 1 o'clock this morning. And some of the same things that hold true for the morning person holds for the. There's a certain part of time where at 9, 10 o'clock where everything goes silent. The distractions go away. The same distractions that are not there at first thing in the morning are not there late at night. And so, do you try to put the square peg through the round hole, or do you play to your strengths? And I've tried this. I've tried to fit in. I can't. So, me being the night owl.
I'm still not a morning person myself. In fact, this morning I slept till 8. Normally I'm up at 6 or even earlier.
Yeah, Jacob's always up late too. Jacob King. So so I'm sitting there. I've got all this stuff that I brought home yesterday that I didn't finish shipping, and I'm like, it's only 11:30. I can knock out the shipping. I've only got 12 items to finish shipping, and so all my shipping is done. So I wake up in the morning with just anything that sold overnight plus that right there. It just sold whatever it is, and and so now I sit here and figure out how do you build that in? If do I get up in the morning and run to the building and pick all the inventory for the day because I only ship 3 days a week, and then ship those evenings? So I'm trying to figure out. Remember, I'm putting myself on the schedule, and I encourage you guys. Hey, James, thanks for using the discount code. They're fast shipping, man. I really appreciate Supply Hut. They do a very nice job. I know they got I just got a message from Supply Hut, James. I know they got a little bit of a bad raw deal with the bubble wrap. They should have known better, but their boxes. Um, some of the 8x6x4s are just quite off square for some reason on this set. But when you use paper tape, I just give it a little squeeze and tape it down. It's back to square again. So
So the secret is if you get a box that's kind of off square because of the glue, just unglue it. Get a little knife and get in there. It's Elmer's glue. That's all it is. That's what the box companies use is white glue. So
yeah,
you can fix it yourself.
yeah, and I truly think you've got to you can't and he says a lot of the same thing. My mind is weight clicker, man. I think much better at night. I've always been. For you guys that have followed the channel, know that if I leave on a trip, I love to drive at night. I'm much better off. I'll take a nap and then drive all night to a destination.
Yeah, I'm just the opposite.
And I don't think that's bad. I think if you get up and are productive in the morning, you know, take advantage of what your strengths are. We talk so much about working on our weaknesses, but you can work on a weakness to the detriment of your strengths.
Yeah, I already got my shipping done, and yeah.
Harlan is becoming the Lego king. He sold a lot of Legos. A lot of Dylan's old Legos they went through and are selling used sets. Uh,
My wife is a morning person for sure. She's up between 3:30 and 4 every morning. Loves it. Me, not so much. I wake up at 6 because I got to go to work. But when I don't have to go to work like today, yeah, 8
so
o'clock.
Jabez, I think I've done the same thing. I've got the 6.4. I just rarely use them. So little fits into them. It's so much easier just to grab the 8.64. Everything fits in that for the most part. I can use air pillows, and it's nearly the same weight. I
I
use.
use, I use a lot of 6x4x4, but
I've been ordering 8x6x4s 200 at a time just because just
Yeah, I use a lot of both.
baseball I don't work really, but I call it work. Doing my Walmart stuff, my Walmart deliveries. But I treat it like work, and it's going to translate when I come back to eBay and do the eBay stuff. I'm going to treat that like work instead of what I did before, which was no schedule, do what I want when I want.
but
If you want to be successful in something, you got to treat it like successful people do. So,
yeah, I think that
hey, I got to write that one down too.
I think the more you play into your strengths, your weaknesses kind of they get better or unnoticed. If it's my organization, if it's my time management, and I'm working at the best time for me, how much better am I at utilizing the time that I have available versus forcing myself to get up when I'm not that morning person. And by the time I've had coffee, there's a lot of by the time I get going, there's distractions. Some dude with a desk has a show a couple days a week. I end up on that for a couple hours or hour and a half. And then by the time I've eaten breakfast, I'm not. I'm still my tendencies are not to get started till 10:30 or 11 anyway, and so I'm there, and then stopping because I got up early and I've worked. I've put in the whole day, and trying to get some me time back. When generally, so I challenge you, figure out what works and what you can still do. A lot of the things that they talk about, you know, the reflection, the planning. You just still know the other end. at the end of the night last night, I'm sitting there, I've got everything set up, I've got my plan for what I need to do this morning. And so I know right after the show exactly what I'm doing, where I'm going, and what I'm doing. So I'm going to be much more productive to start this day, because the same planning that they talk about, the doing in a morning routine and all that stuff, you know, I've got the book on, and we'll talk about the book in a minute. We'll have it read by next Monday night. Um, and that's Profit First. I am in chapter 7 out of 10 or something like that. I'm listening to it. When I finish driving around today, I should be done. A lot of good information. My goal is to listen to it again this weekend a second time. Talked to John this morning. He said that he would be around Monday, and he'd read this book years ago, and stuff that he's implemented. He will talk about best practices for his business. The one thing I do like about the author is he talks about, everything is different, and you do have the founding principles for Profit First are good for every business, but the way you apply it and some of the accounting terms, so he gives some leeway for it to be different for each type of business. So I can learn a lot of strategy from game theory. Yeah, Tommy, what's left in Delaware? You don't have plastic bags, and you don't have stuffed pizza. What's left? Oh, violence and crime in Wilmington. There you go. Don't worry, if you think it's a third world country, you have New Jersey to your north. Just when New Jersey and uh, Trenton and everything are just to your north. So yeah, they have sloppy Joe. Nice. It's but it's a great time to really figure out where you think things are going. Jakester, good morning. Where the hell are you today?
But you,
My new
Are you,
office.
are you already slumlording already? This ain't no office.
New
you
office.
even got an exit sign up there. Yeah, this looks
Yeah,
fancy.
you don't have a new office.
It is for right now.
Uh,
I'm at one of the properties that I manage on Airbnb. It's the $1 million house.
because there's ways to, and so I think the same thing applies. Is I need to listen to myself more. I talk a lot about, in reselling especially, that it's good to hear different voices, because you can't model your business exactly after someone. You can't, what John's been through in his specific circumstances to sell $5 million on Amazon. You can follow a lot of procedures, but he's got a lot of strong relationships that will be hard to duplicate. But you can learn from what he did, and the procedures and the accounting stuff, and apply these things to your business. And so, why do I not do the same thing about the time management aspect? Why try to force radical changes upon myself to be like others when I'm an individual and my strengths are completely different? I need to understand that so what makes these guys successful first thing in the morning? It's a routine. They get around, they do a lot of planning. And so how do you, as the night owl, how do you do that?
That might be a book that I read not too long ago, maybe about a year ago. It's called When by Daniel Pink. And for those of us that are, I guess you could call us neural non-typical or whatever, it's When by Daniel Pink. And it really does talk about a lot about
Ping, P-I-N-G? P-I-N-G?
When, W-H-E-N, When.
No, his last name, Ping.
Pink, like the color.
Pink like the color.
Yep. And it really does. It talks a lot about schedules and when things have happened, why they've happened when. And they do talk a lot about, even people's circadian rhythm, where most people go like way up. Hopefully I'm doing this in the correct direction, left to right, and then they kind of drop off around lunchtime, and then they have a little bit of a burst of energy in the afternoon, and then they're pretty much done. Well, people like myself, I'm exactly the opposite. I'll get going a little slower. I'll have a little burst of energy, and then I'll not do a whole lot for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, about mid-afternoon, I go way to my peak at like 8 or 9 o'clock. But by 10:30, 11 o'clock, or maybe 12, boom, all the way down to the bottom. Exactly the opposite.
And I found a lot of the same timing because I get mad at myself because I'm like, man, I should be shipping earlier. I'm up against the deadline because I have to have UPS call by 3. Why am I starting shipping again at 1 o'clock? And it's because that focus and energy, is after, starts around noonish, 1ish. I'm the same thing.
I find it ironic that we're all night people except for Todd, and we're doing a morning show.
But it's our slow time. That's why.
That is true.
That's exactly why it is.
It's my if I didn't have anything to do, I would get up in the morning around 8 o'clock, and I would sit there and have coffee till 10, something, or play around on Facebook or whatever. If I was a retired fella,
Well,
and that's what I did before.
I taught school for 33 years, so
right.
I'm up at 5:30 a.m. every school day. So. I think that just carried over. I still do that. 5:30, pretty much I'm up.
Because I ran a Hardee's for a couple of years and ended up opening quite a bit. And that store opened at 4:30, so that means you had to get there. It opened at 4:30. So you had to get there at 3:15, 3:20 to get that place open. And once or twice a week, and then because it was so heavy in breakfast, I was always there by 6. Because after 2 p.m., if you're working 6 to 4, you've seen of a Hardee's. But this was in the late 90s. You've seen 80% of the sales. They were a little different. Not all of them have fried chicken anymore, but these restaurants did, and so that carried some of the lunch and dinner crowd. But I got to where my body normally woke up because I did it after so many. You can train yourself to be different, but as soon as that environment is removed, I went right back to what's normal for me anyway.
Yeah.
So what's at Walmart?
Oh, that's the book.
Okay.
No shameless plug, I suppose. I couldn't get your Amazon affiliate link fast enough on the computer. I don't have your little site stripe.
Oh, it's all right. But I think it's to get the most out of what you do, and it's important to do self-evaluation, understand what your strengths are. It's a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And if your strengths are really, really strong, you can, and your thinking through the process is very good. You can understand, and I need the planning part. So, when's the best part to plan for tomorrow? At the end of the day, I read something. It was the guy was trying to say, make a list of 6 things. The most important thing, number 1, for the next day before you quit. And so there are a lot of people, and so in the next morning, there's not a lot of thought or anything. You can just get up and go. So there is a lot of thought to. You can really incorporate some planning and some, instead of just quitting for the night last night. I took time to, and it was scary for me to straighten up the shipping area, which I never do. And so while I come in this morning, all the boxes they're already in the bag, ready to go to the post office. Everything. I'm just missing one item plus whatever this was.
So what do you do first, Jake? The property management or the reselling stuff?
Property management stuff generally comes first. Responding to inquiries for stuff.
I saw that. I listened as the last thing I did last night. I listened to that before I went, because I'm like, why is this not on Amazon? Wait a minute, I can't find the single. There's just 2 and 3 packs. I ended up putting it in a bucket over there, thinking I'll find another one. I didn't find another one, so I listed it, and I listed it because here's a good one. So the last one sold for $29. people are in the 30s, and and so you can see I went $24.88 free shipping. So I don't know what my price cost was into this. If I'm guessing it's probably $7 or $8. That's generally, but there's a huge reason why I cut them off. Anybody want to take a guess as why I cut them all and I wanted to sell first?
You got an expiration date coming up?
Hey, at least let me put the picture up there first.
Well, still, I mean, it's still in date, but
it's in date. But you also want to give people confidence that they've got 3 months to use this, and
I'll tell you,
something like this is going to be good for the next couple of years. But
it's a great idea because eBay has cracked down on expiration dates, and
right.
I've had items pulled that were about to expire because the person couldn't use it in time. So you got to be really careful with expiration dates on eBay.
This right here is where one of the philosophies that I tell you that because I sell on Amazon, I am a better eBay seller than most people. And so why is that? That expiration date would be very iffy on Amazon because Amazon says you need a certain period of time of the typical use. So if you've got an item that is like a bottle of vitamins that are one a day Flintstone vitamins, and there's 60 of them, so that means 60 days. I mean, your expiration date can't be 30 days out because it used to be a straight 55 days. It was whatever they wouldn't sell it 55 days or less. So if you only cover 60, so it had to be 90 to send it in. Now they're saying there's even longer out, and so you pay attention to expiration dates. You also start thinking about the customers and how do you prevent negative feedback, and if you give them adequate time to use it, changes the way you buy stuff.
So John, but even eBay is implementing that at sometimes where if it's not done yet, or if they can't use it. I've had items pulled within 30 days of expiration.
Are they discounting their shipping? Because that's what kills me. They have great prices until you go, wait a minute, the shipping sucks. The weakness of Supply Hut is I think their biggest boxes are not. You can't get the monster, but the much bigger boxes. Like if you're selling VCRs, they don't have boxes of VCRs. But if for most of the small stuff, 10.86 or less are very solid.
Where do you get your VCR boxes? Staples or something?
Right now, I got them from Bed Bath & Beyond. Because I'm still working.
Another pro tip right there.
I'm still working through the $2 bundles of boxes. $2 for 25 boxes. I've got quite a few of them. So, and by quite a few of them, I mean enough to fill the pickup truck still.
I've had good luck with Staples in there. If I need an odd size box.
And Staples boxes, the Coastwide is who makes them. Coast something. Really thick wall boxes. So if you're going to buy electronics box, and keep an eye on them. If you look in their clearance section, they put boxes on clearance a couple, 3 times a year, and it's just random sizes for whatever reason.
When I say Staples, I mean ordering from Staples because our local Staples doesn't carry a single box.
No, you got to order them. They don't, but they're fast and but 2 day. Most of it is free 2-day shipping. Is.
I think Lag just called me Walter White.
Nice.
Pretty sure that's going.
Good tip. Todd says Granger has good prices if you can do local pickup, and they're in most big cities. I'm pretty sure Granger's here. I don't know where it is, but if Wilmington, North Carolina had a Granger, I'm sure Huntsville, Alabama's got one.
I watched the video. Just speaking of Huntsville, real quick, and we can move on from this. I watched a video last night about the worst motel in Alabama. And it was right there in Huntsville. It's called the Bama Motel. It was hilarious to watch that video.
I thought you were going to talk about the Charles Motel out here in Meridianville. That thing is
could be, but anyway, it was this big blue and white building, and there was roaches and no towels, and it was really bad.
So here's a good story. So Joni's parents we lived in a and when they bought the house, it was a small house. It was a nice area, but areas change, and so we met in '88, that area was going through change, and they were one of the last of the original families in that area because it was very close to where his work was. And when he retired and sold his business, they wanted to move out on a farm on the country. You know, they're both parents were farmers, so her parents, both of them are farmers. So they bought a house out in the middle of nowhere, and so going out there, you know, we come visit, and if you'd go riding or whatever with her father, there was a hotel out there, and he would make the joke every time you'd go by it because it's truly the motel where you drive up, park in front of him. He goes, take a mental picture because when we come back, the same cars are not going to be there. He would say it every single time, like it was, yeah. It was,
Sorry, I derailed the show again.
Mark, that is exactly what's wrong with it. It's the print head, that's why the only printers that I buy now that are inkjet printers are the ones that use the big cartridges, because remember they're more expensive than the little bitty ones, because every time you replace the black 63 or the black 62 or the color 61, that series of with all the little gold little things on the back of it, that is the print head. And so if you're having issues with a clogged print head on a one of these type of printers,
I would suggest also looking on YouTube and see how to clean those print heads before you decide to
just take the cartridges. It doesn't have there's no cleaning, there's no anything. You just order new ink, and I have not had one that didn't work, and that, you know, replacing the ink. And I do buy the remanufactured. You know, if I need something like now, I will check Walmart.com and see which one of the stores in the area has the ONN, because those are actually they use they use HP ink cartridges, the remanufactured.
Technical Z wants to know how my Deep Thoughts book is coming. Since I only have 1 or 2 deep thoughts a year, it's still in pre-production, I guess.
Yeah, that's so Mark. That's the problem I've run into. So last week I tested, within the last few days, I tested an 8620. So if you guys
literally only have one written down.
So the 8620 is a big machine. It's the Office Pro, weighs about 40 pounds. It's a mother to ship. It would not. I put new ink cartridges in, and it said that it wouldn't recognize the print head, and on and on and on. And finally, I looked it up, see if the paper tray, everything's any good. I'm like, you know what? And it went.
If it's a big mess, like Mark says, it's a big mess, or it requires buying a kit and a bunch of work. Part the damn thing out or toss it in the garbage. I mean, cut your losses.
You understand what's your time worth, what's your space worth, what the headaches are worth. There's so much stuff out there, folks. It is amazing how much stuff there is to sell. You know, yesterday at the thrift store, you know, I could have listed the $2 and the Belkin thing. It was 25 plus shipping is what the last one sold for, but I used it. There's a Belkin. I bought a Belgian waffle maker. It was, I don't know, $5 or $6. It sells for 40, 42 plus shipping. What else did I? There's a train set. I bought a train set because it was $7, so that made it about $4.45, $4.50, $4.70 after maybe $5. The engine on that thing is, you know, $30 some, and it had the train, it had all the cars, it had the little thing that controls had the track. And so at some point I'll sell that. I'll get Jacob to list it. And Tracy, what else did I buy? I dropped it on everything about twice. It's still in the truck. That's why I can't remember. I haven't even brought it inside yet. There was one or two other items. I keep the waffle maker. I'm on keto, man. I went back on keto yesterday. But it's one of those waffle makers that turns. Yeah, that 8620, man. I threw it in the garbage. The heck with that thing, man.
It is what it is. Sometimes you got to cut your losses. I had a 7720 that I used for sublimation printing, and those heads got clogged. And I tried I spent hours and hours and hours. Finally, I said, you know, I paid a lot of money for that damn thing.
Right.
I finally said, okay, screw it. It went straight in the garbage.
What else
I just
did I
didn't have
buy?
the time anymore.
Oh,
I went shopping myself. So.
I bought a router. I think I'm gonna keep I'm in a cable modem. I think I'm gonna keep the cable modem because I hate mine, and I'm gonna sell the one I have.
I found these headphones in the bins when I was in North Carolina. They say, I don't know if you can see that, Cadillac on the side. And this was after everybody went through the bins. You can't connect their IR headphones, I found out.
But don't they work in older Cadillacs?
Escalades, like up to 2018.
I bet there's a way that they can use it. If somebody has one, they can use them though, right?
Yeah. It turns on, powers on and everything. $50. $50. I got that out of the bins. That day I spent less than $5. So everybody passed these up. I don't know why you would pass something up that says Cadillac on it, but they did.
Yes, so I saw the same thing, and I thought to myself, if this computer is not recognizing this print head, what am I missing about the print head? What can be? I can't the printer. I can't sell one knowing that if this printer won't recognize it, what makes me think the next printer will recognize it? Could there be something? I mean, could it have gotten scratched? Could something have happened to it? Whatever. And so that's why I just threw them. I looked up the paper trays. The paper trays there people got them listed, but they don't sell very frequently. I know a lot of people would sell the screen and that kind of stuff, but by the time I invested all that time pulling off, that's not my business model for that thing. So out it went. Sometimes you just got to make a decision. Hey, Shane, good morning. You just got to make the decision that, I had $20 in it. $20 is, I probably bought it at the half price at that estate sale. So I probably had $10 in it. So is it, do you cut bait for $10?
Sometimes that cut bait decision sucks. It really sucks, especially if you got money into something. A big good money into something, but sometimes it's the best decision you could ever make.
And because at the end of the day, what is that costing you in time? The opportunity cost lost is, I don't think we understand and really calculate opportunity costs and what some of the decisions we make on inventory and other things cost you by your efficiency, cost you your time. So Phil says he bought an inexpensive tool that resets the chips on Epson HP. Hey, I need one of those.
I would consider buying that tool, but I don't sell enough printers. I don't find the printers like say Scott does. It's just in my area, those kind of printers aren't readily available.
Especially for the black. It would be worth it just to be able to refill the black ones.
Yeah, I would look into that tool. They're not that expensive.
Yes, we sell bait. So Monday night, I'll post a time. Is there a time that's better for most folks?
After 8 for me.
I was going to do 7. I was going to do 7 p.m.
8 my time. So 7.
Yeah, so 7. I was going to do 7 p.m. Central. We can do 6. Any suggestions to go over prod first? Heather Cox says she's new here. Would like to know where you're located in Indiana. I'll give you a hint.
Alaska?
Yeah, I'm in Alaska.
Arkansas.
Arkansas? Nah. I live north of Huntsville, Alabama.
I live north of, I don't know. What do I live north of? Everything?
You live east of Cleveland.
I live north of Mexico.
I live in Ohio.
And Jake's in the Bristol area. Bristol, take your pick. Virginia or North Carolina. He'll just say yes. So Trina says she's free time. So let's plan on 7. I'll make the show 7 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Eastern.
And so Trina's gonna help us out because she's implemented this. John has read this for years ago and uses parts of it.
Tom is west of south.
Tracy, you're in Huntsville, Alabama too? You should come to Wing Night on Tuesday nights.
I'm north of East. The town over there is East Springfield. So I'm west of East.
Lag. We can't trust anything that comes out of your keyboard, so.
Actually, it's West Springfield on that side. Yeah, whatever.
Yes, so talking about your strengths, that was one of the conversations Dave and I had last night. Folks, I tell you over and over, it is valuable to have a group of friends around you. There's like 5 or 6 people that I've talked to each week that understand reselling, that are in the same business. You've got to have somebody lower, someone you can help that's lower, somebody that's above you, and 2 or 3 at your same level. Just talking things out with Dave and having something to bounce off of, because I need to do what I'm good at, and I'm good at hunting shit. I'm good at sending it to Amazon and hunting stuff that you can't find. That's what I'm good at. Hey Harlan, if you're in Huntsville next Tuesday night, wings at 5:00 at Tailgaters. If you need directions to Tailgaters, I can get them for you. But even though when you walk in there, everybody goes, just like cheers, Harlan. Yes. So Dylan, Harlan's son, was with us last night for the last time because he's going back to Alabama to school this week for the next semester. He sits down and goes, "Yeah, that guy came up and said, 'Are you Harlan's son?'" He was kind of taken back for a minute. He's like, "Did Harlan do something?" But I'm good at hunting stuff. I enjoy hunting stuff, and I need to get back out there and really put in some effort. Oh dang! Doing work. We got rid of Steve. Dang. And so I decided that I really thought about trying to change it and adopt a different business model for Amazon. And the more I thought about it, the more I could do it. I wouldn't enjoy it. It was just going to be doing something to do something. And so, yeah, it's back to the hunt. It's back to the crazy RA that I love the most, and the stuff that you can't find. But I'm just going to refine my processes and get better at it, so I find more stuff in a smaller area. So maybe it's a 1 night, 2 night trip, within the Southeast versus, hey, let's go to Vegas.
So it seems like when you're not logged into StreamYard and then you go to log into StreamYard, it kicks you out of the room. I wanted to change my background, and I wasn't logged in, so it wouldn't let me do it. It didn't used to be that way. Oh, well. Then I gave up.
There are no friends. The Flippin' Sports guy says there are no friends in the reseller community. We just all deal with each other.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. So here's my opinion on that. And a lot of people want to have acquaintances in the reselling business. They want to be around or in the vicinity of other resellers and want to glean information, and that's okay. But the problem is, if you don't actively participate and give as much information as you take, slowly you fade away from people because for the most part, people don't like takers. They just don't. And you have to be someone that is an active participant in a friendship and give information. For I had to beat my brother over the head when he used to be resell, because he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you would tell somebody, don't tell anybody what we found." I'm like, it's like 3 people. What difference does it make? You truly, you can't buy the whole country. Other people will figure it out. This is not a secret. This is not, this is not something that you go to get an advanced degree in. It's do you physically have the stamina to go look for stuff? So Flipping Sports Guy said it was a joke, but it just led me into a different. Sometimes jokes leave you in because some people need to hear.
Some people take that philosophy and believe it, though. We're not friends. We're all competitors. We're not enemies, but we're competitors. Yeah.
So me and Dave talking, and me and Dave would hunt for the same. If Dave would ever leave his garage, which I'm trying to encourage him, and Mr. Condon, Scott is the biggest encourager. We've tried shame, we've tried ridicule. We have not, none of that has worked yet. But anyway, but Dave lives in California. Scott lives in Chicago. I live in Alabama. If we all three hunt the same thing, how many times do our paths cross? When we say let's hang out in Vegas, that's the last time I saw those guys.
The way you used to do it, your paths would cross a lot, but the way you would do it now is a whole different story.
Hell, me and Harlan pick yard sales at the same time, for God's sakes. Folks, you can't know it all. You can't buy it all. You can't find it all. You just can't. And Justin Floyd says Lowe's and Home Depot have a lot of stuff right now. Walmart's at 75%, I believe, and next week they'll go 90%. So will Walgreens. They'll go 75% next week. It's, not everybody's willing. I'm going to go to 3 stores today. I wonder what I'll find. One of them I have found. This is this is how ridiculous my mind had and warped it had become. Is I found one store, and after hunting for other ones in the area, I'm like, I've never even seen that one. So I stop in there. This is sometime in September, August last year. I'm like, man, they have a lot of stuff that I'm looking for that's hard to find. And so I ended up spending a couple $100. It was worth, $8 or $9 or $100 or $1,000. And I thought it was a one-off. I didn't realize they had 2 other ones in Huntsville. Until I was driving around the other day, I'm like, that looks like the same store that was over there. Holy crap! So yeah, I'm going to the first one plus the other 2 today because I'm an idiot. And then I'm going to parlay that. Imagine that they're a franchise type chain, and there's 180 of them in Alabama. There's 180 of them in Alabama, and I was very good at one of them. And the thought didn't occur to me: is this a one-off, or could there be more? Right. That's how rusty I had got, and my RA brain had been turned off.
My RA brain ain't quite done yet. This week I stopped at a store, and I'll tell you about it after the show. And I saw an item, $5, and they're selling on eBay pretty regularly for $15 plus shipping. So you'd make a little bit of money. And I'm thinking to myself, how many of these can I afford today? And I didn't buy any because I'm not doing that right now. So I'll tell you about it after the show, but I think it would be a really good item to sell. My John brain turned on. I was thinking like John for a minute. That tells you maybe where I found it.
Harlan, sure, you're talking about reselling.
Is he talking about his dancing skills?
That lady had you bundled up in a coat and a hoodie and gloves out walking through the woods.
Yeah,
you have on rose-colored glasses. I said it.
Although what he's saying there is that she supports what he does, and that's pretty cool.
It's important. I told him, I sent him a text. I'm like, yeah, I've been out here 10 minutes trying to cut this thing. It's definitely true love for you to be walking through the woods. But your spouse doesn't have to do reselling, but they've got to be supported. They've got to understand, and they've got to be encouraged.
It's one of those gigs.
I don't understand the ones that
wow.
Do you understand the ones that don't like and are negative again? If your skill set is here and this is your vision and your dreams and you're pursuing what you think is makes you happy in life and stuff you enjoy, and it's making you a living, and you need to continue to work at it to get better, and you constantly face negative and on and on and on, it would challenge me to see, are you with the right person to begin with? What kind of what kind of person would you go? I really want to stay with this person, or I enjoy being with this person who can't, who I have to fight the whole way through. It's amazing. I don't understand that, and so it's been very exciting to see that Harlan's new lady appreciates the reselling. There's a lot of people don't.
They look at you like Fred Sanford, I've gotten that a lot over the years. Oh, Fred Sanford. I've had people call me that because of you're a junk collector basically, but they don't see the whole picture.
Yeah, we have a friend going through a separation and divorce right now because the wife just was not supportive of his reselling.
Yeah, Harlan's ex hated the reselling. Hated. And he typed that in capital letters too, so for emphasis.
I've been married twice, and they both were okay with the reselling, but there was other things from the first
Brian
one.
Wiley. Okay. Brian Wiley asked, "Is he allowed here?" No. Brian, I have one thing to tell you.
Apparently,
there you go. All right, now you're
allowed.
Now you're allowed. I got that off my chest, so now you're allowed. So Lisa says her husband hates it. Okay, so if he hates it, but does he support the fact that you like it and that what you do? So there can be a difference between somebody not liking it, but they love you enough to support your. I can see that part, that it's just not somebody's thing. They don't have anything to do with it, but because they care as much for you as an individual and your happiness and what's best for you, which in turn will be make their lives better. So that's
my wife didn't care for the reselling when I first started. Now, it wasn't that she hated it or anything, Sadie. But she didn't care for it. But then she became a reseller, so she likes it now.
As long as the Amazon takes her debit card or credit card, Larry, you're good. Your audio or my headphones is skipping.
Yeah,
I like to believe it's your.
No, because you're skipping on my end too.
All right, let's turn off the Wi-Fi and go straight. I had the Wi-Fi turned on so I could use the AirDrop, but let's see if that does any better. Okay, so Lisa, how about your 2024 is to do your part and do some organizing? And so Harlan will tell you the same thing. We've had this conversation. His garage was always full. His ex-wife didn't like the stuff, and so this time around, when he is trying to figure out how to get it out of his house, I guess 8 months ago, he's like, I need to get rid of the storage building. I don't want to pay this extra money. And so he put it all in the garage. And now the thought is, I need my house. I don't want the stuff around. What if I get, I sell this much at the auction? It's crazy not to allocate a portion of it to pay for the storage and part of the processing. So he's got 2 storage buildings side by side. One holds the stuff, and he's going to process and use the other one to very smart idea, and it's getting all the stuff out of his life, and so he can actually have a garage. And he still works at his house. I think last night he said they were doing video games, and he said it looked like somebody vomited video games all over the living room. Dylan was helping him with that.
So my wife calls my reselling a hoard and a mess too, but she's also a reseller. Now, if you look at her area and you look at my area, you'll understand why.
And I killed the other tab too. So I think that worked better the last time. I killed the tab.
You ain't got fiber optic out your way yet, do you?
No.
Yeah.
It's very ridiculous. So she says she has everything in the garage, so nothing in the house, and it is a problem. Part of I don't think we understand what we do to others when we drag stuff inside, and so that's quickly when I did more teaching and I had a course, that was one of the first things is design your storage. I think the earlier you can figure out your storage, the easier it is. You can't be, you know, I feel so much better paying the $80 or $75, whatever it is for that storage building, so that I can actually use this building. I did an FBA shipment Monday. I've got another one ready to go. I just got to box it up and send it out the door today. I didn't have the room to do that. I would ship. First, I'd have to clean everything off the tables and then ship. And then everything would make its way back. And then if I wanted to do an order, then I had to all figure out. It is so much. Figure out the storage, figure out the processes, figure out, and a logical order. Because quickly, if you start buying, it will overwhelm you very quickly. It doesn't matter what you buy; it will overwhelm you quickly. Figure out different ways. There's if you sell media, there's a file cabinet full of media. It's a lot of that's going to go to Amazon because I'm tired of looking at it. Because that's one of my goals for this year is to, if it can FBA to FBA. Just reading a lot of great comments about where people put stuff.
I'm in the basement.
Well, Tracy says same thing. Biggest part's his basement. I think, but majority of yours, Tracy, is in your basement, though, correct? I believe. Lag said he's got a 3-story basement. Man, you're a winning lag.
I'm gonna head out, guys.
All right. Later, man. Happy New Year.
I hope you don't have to go to the emergency room.
What's that?
I hope you don't have to go to the emergency room today.
Emergency room?
To get your boot removed from one of your tenants' asshole.
Not today. Not today. Well, we will be. I'm taking my crew up to the properties to clean it here shortly, so that's where we're headed.
By the way, I do need one of your addresses of one of your Airbnbs so that I can squat there for a long time and you can't get me out.
It don't work that way, Virginia.
Oh,
so, Tactical Z, I see the error of your ways. I can't imagine. So I don't understand the Utah thing, and I think you said you're in Maryland. Who wants multiple wives? Oh my God!
I'm okay with one. I do not want any more.
So Jessica
not that they're bad things. My wife is wonderful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is, but have a plan. So even if you're in your house, do you have a spare bedroom? Use something where you can close the door. There's ways to control. There's ways to, but if you let it out in the living room, out everywhere, it's reselling. I did put this on a T-shirt. The reselling inventory is like kudzu. It just creeps and creeps until it takes over everything.
You're not getting the camera angle of my office. That would show how bad it gets. And I'm not even hardly reselling right now.
Mine's changed. The one box, since I had it sitting there, the coffee maker, now I'm waiting for them to send me paperwork. The Wii has been tested. That's got to be listed today.
Yeah, there you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
See that roll of bubble wrap right there? It's on a pile of crap. It's that elevated back there. No, you can't see it still. Oh, and I'm pulling a Dusty today, by the way.
You're doing pajamas.
I just need the Volkswagen shirt to make it complete.
So Lag has a basement Discord if you want to talk to Lag. Very nicely, so bought some shelves to get it. It's truly so. Jess says hers is a spare bedroom, but she's going to have to have storage building to put it in the back. Folks, I mean, that's the one thing I do. The thing that Lonnie did, if you have the ability like Lonnie did, and like Commonwealth Picker, and I know several others who don't have bought the storage buildings and the storage sheds from the Lowe's. You'd be amazed if you can pick up one of those and do the installation and put walls up or just cheap stuff. Very, very easy stuff to do. You would be amazed the freedom, and it changes the way if you're under control and you're working thing. It changes the way you think. It really in your mind legitimizes what you do, that you are a small business owner, and that's the sooner you can think with your business mind, and sooner you can treat it that way. And that's what Profit First has been. helping me really mentally think about have more positive traits and do more to get more into, instead of just ignoring my accounting and ignoring like I normally do, to start maximizing. Uh, as your short splits have any effect on your gross sales? That would be a no. So he said he only has tactical Z. He's just kidding. He only has one wife and a girlfriend. Even then, I don't understand the point.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sometimes I think I'm in this society, this day and age. I'm like, been with Joni since the '80s. Sure, you notice attractive women. I mean, in this day and age, they're walking around with their what was I watching, the lady from AT&T is complaining that everybody talks about her mommy milkers. I'm like, well then,
What?
but then cover them up. You walk around with them hanging out everywhere. I mean, and expect guys to ignore the fact that you're putting them out there for the world to see. So, but yeah. So at least that our dad built cabinets for a garage. He helped out a lot. Very nice. You can pick the stuff at the yard sales, folks. We see, you know, I point out lots of things you can use at yard sales. In the last few years, I found scanners. I found handheld Bluetooth scanners, scales galore, printers, and shelves. The shelves and cabinets are easy to find at yard sales. You'd be amazed the amount of things. This desk here came from an estate sale. The little filing cabinets here came from a yard sale. The estate sale for those the three filing cabinets came from estate sales, and they're cheap. I paid $20 for this horizontal filing cabinet. It's a Han. It's heavy duty. Uh, it is amazing, and I can't tell you how many laser printers I find at yard sales. It's absolutely amazing.
I don't.
So Jessica, I think we discount that, and I've been guilty of being on the other side, and I truly, this year especially, I want to. So I was in the conversation with Dave last night. I told him, I'm like, I want to do where, maybe I do a couple nights out, on the road and then come back. But what happens when I leave? Joni and Jacob will ship. They don't mind shipping, but they also want to know an easy way. How do we find it? And so if it's in the storage building, all they have to do is walk over to bin whatever. And so, as I start working on the area, buying the stuff in the area I live in, and I'm not going to travel overnight for probably 6 or 7 weeks, I need to understand my time and understand the organization that will pay dividends moving forward completely by allowing myself to be helped, because I make it easier for somebody. Because if they have to hunt like I do, just because I know where I stuck it, that is a terrible burden to put on somebody else, to ask them to help you and expect them to know what your brain knows, because not everybody lives in the scrambled mess and cobwebs that is up there. So Lisa, that's perfect. She says her husband hates the resale. She's the one that said her husband, but obviously he doesn't hate it,
right there,
because he is supporting you. That's a huge win. Supporting you so you can do what you do. He would just like you to do things different, but he doesn't hate it. That is outstanding. Like, what do you want to link to?
Yeah, I saw that. A link to the live show? Give it to him.
He ain't coming on the live show.
I know, right?
So Jessica found. I've picked up shelves at the.
He wants to see. He wants to see the mommy milkers.
Look up Van Trove or Van Trove. That's her name. She's the AT&T. Yeah, if you go, I watched one of these guys, and evidently she did some live or whatever. She had some low cut thing on, and the guys in the audience kept putting milk cartons and all kinds of glasses. I kept all kind of emojis in her chat, and she she was very offended by it, and she felt like it was sexual assault. She felt like she had been assaulted. So she went right straight to the. It's like it would be like me walking around with a Speedo and say, "Hey, my face is up here." I know it would be so much temptation. That's why I can't wear one. It's just
you would definitely get some reaction.
No, my mind
You would
don't go there.
You would definitely get some reaction. I'm not sure if it's the reaction you'd be hoping.
So Trina says she needs to buy a laminator. I see a lot of them at yard sales and especially Goodwills. The Scotch ones, I think Scotch brand lamp. I do not have one.
Magic Scott. Instead of Magic Mike, Magic Scott.
So Couture, whatever your name is, welcome to the show. I've never seen your name. Thanks for commenting.
It's
a cat torch. He torches
Young Todd
cats.
did a live. I didn't even see it pop up.
Okay, so present, share screen.
Uh-oh.
There's your business attire. You know, good. Whatever your comment was, there you go.
Okay.
She's out and about. There you go. That's the first image that shows up. I mean, here you go again. You can't have it both ways.
I know some people just want to be offended about things, and they make it so it happens. That's all. Bob T asked if we give anything to our postal workers for all the boxes we drop off. I do. We bake them cookies for Christmas. Not this year because we didn't drop any boxes off hardly.
I've accidentally found stuff in the parking lot and turned it in.
There are rules and regulations on what you can give to a postal worker.
I found some in the parking lot and turned it in. So.
$20 or something.
What they do with it is not my concern. So Brian said, found rolling carts from my Kohl's going out of business. That's wonderful. The tables behind you, 2 of them came from going out of business at a whatever that. Harlan and I went and bought tables and all kinds of stuff at one of these dress stores that went out of business. I've still got them in here.
I bought a mannequin, a male mannequin at a sporting goods store that was going. I can't remember which sporting goods store it was now. One of the big names.
Dick's.
It wasn't a Dick's.
Tommy says first thing he does every day is go straight to the tab of ending and check. That's Tommy. That's a great best practice, folks. If and so if you're not going to do the nuclear reset where you reset your whole store, if you're just resetting to reset, you're just resetting bad listings. You want to know a way. You want to know a way to keep track of your listings. Build this few minutes in your day every day, and actively participate. And there's a reason why Tommy is way ranked up and sells an ass load of shoes. It doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't come. And he goes to a store. His provider goes, I need all these shoes, and it's magically you actually have to work the listings. Understand your market, understand what sells, where they need to promote it, understand the shipping, whether free or shipping work. It's amazing that you just don't sit around and wait for the eBay guys to turn on your server and then you're allowed to sell. And then they turn it off for the rest of the night. That doesn't happen. So Tommy says 10 to 15 a day. I mean, it's truly, if you have 400 listings, I mean, it's going to average, especially if you list 5 or 10 a day. Imagine that the number that you list a day, they're going to end the same one. So it's a very. How about that? I'm going to list 5 today. I'm going to check the 5 they're ending today. That'd be. I think they would pay tremendous dividends in your business to understand what happens to your listings before eBay resets them, because I think that's one of the worst things that eBay did was the automatic relist, because it truly took the okay. So I get why eBay did it, because it keeps the listings up and keeps the items active, and it keeps the platform with a large catalog, but it means the seller doesn't actually look over their listings anymore.
It makes
And
you
so
lazy.
it absolutely makes it. You can't say sellers are lazy. It's eBay's fault.
I'm lazy, man. I've always been a list it and forget it kind of guy. And I realize now that is the absolute worst thing you could do. I know some people preach it, and I sell things that are old, but if I were to check on my biggest issue with eBay is that I will sell something that I'm sure I've already sold in the past and I can't find it. Now, if I were checking those things every single day, that would never happen, ever, because I would catch it.
So Jessica said her husband fell and he had to do the inventory, and it's and to allow. Okay, so even if it's not your spouse or significant other, if you have plans to grow this business and you need part-time help, a lot of people say just hire. A lot of people say just hire a teenager to do your shipping. I've heard that before. But if you don't have systems in place for them to be able to find the items that need to be, what good is it? You're going to pay them to do the same wander and hunt and peck that you're doing. So
you should be putting hands on those items you're checking every day too.
Living Sports Guy Tom,
if you put hands on those 10 or 15 items a day that you're checking on, they still exist and you know where they're at.
So there's lots of reseller meetups, SCG collectibles. I don't know what part of the country you're located, but it's amazing if you start reaching out to some of the Facebook groups to find out where people are. Okay, so I'm gonna put this idea out there that's so wild and crazy. If there's not one in your area, start one. It's amazing.
I don't like people though.
I don't either, but I go to the one here in town. It's the next one is the 20. I think it's the 29th. I got a message the other day.
We have a loosely organized nothing here. There's nothing, but there's not I don't know a lot of resellers in my area, and if I did Roman, but I'd have to go quite a ways to get with Roman. I don't think
you're also different. Your wife kicks her ass and is a reseller, and you have a lot of
right. I mean, I have a reseller meetup every day at home, so that's good.
So do you separate that out, Marcia? This is personal time, but this is reseller time.
No.
But
my wife runs her business exactly the opposite of the way I do, and guess who has more sales? Not success as far as money. She sells lower end stuff, but she sells way more than I do because she runs it like a business, and I do not.
Flipping Sports Guy, there are not nightly shutdowns. I know it's hard to understand.
Wait, what?
There are YouTubers out there that decide that because they didn't sell something in 5 or 6 hours, that their servers are turned off and they're being blocked for the time period.
Yeah, that's completely true.
Mm-hmm. That's why Tommy had to end his podcast, because he caused so much grief for telling everybody his servers were cut off. It's terrible.
It makes no sense for eBay to do any of the things that resellers accuse them of. Absolutely no sense. Because that's less sales for them. Less money for them.
I want y'all to know that yesterday, Dawn and Mary were extremely mean to me yesterday. And if I had any feelings at all, they would have hurt them. And since I was born without feelings, none of that stuff worked on me. I just sat back and laughed as I typed. And Dawn, due to your happy marriage, I took it easy on you, because I had to erase what I was typing. That I was going to mess with Mary a lot, and I erased a lot of comments to be nice.
I wanna ask one question to the chat, and if somebody can give me a good answer, I'll believe you. A real good answer. What possible benefit does eBay get by shutting off sales? Period. Like a rolling blackout, or what possible benefit do they get from that?
That's not your back porch.
I'm in
Front
Dallas.
porch. Oh,
Oh, that's right. I saw that you said that you were going out there. How's the grandbaby?
She's good. They're in Hawaii though.
So are you just babysitting the business while they're gone?
Oh no, I'm just hanging out.
But yeah, so Dawn, I would think not many people have messed with their shipping or anything whenever it changed over.
I did.
Ground ground advantage is a tremendous win. I mean, how many times? I don't think we emphasize that enough. I have shipped so much ground advantage. It has been such a tremendous win, but it's also made some different changes.
Sue went sideways there for a minute. I thought maybe there was an earthquake
Sorry.
or something going on.
So for everybody who was used to using priority boxes from the post office, now you're not. So to use ground advantage, you need a lot more of your own packaging. I mean, there's been some changes that people have needed to get to, but Brian said, let's to a YouTuber who doesn't do measurements for clothes other than the size. Uh, yeah, that's why I don't sell clothes. If I were a clothes seller, though, I would do. Uh, I think Riley Roots has showed videos where they have rulers and stuff in the pictures, and they put the measurements in the pictures. If you're a clothes seller and don't do that kind of stuff, that's crazy. You know, you know, and then you're going to bitch and go, "Well, I don't know why I don't sell that much." Well, shit.
And even if you do that stuff with clothing, you're still going to get returns on occasion. It just happens. It's just the nature of that business.
See, I told you it's not a conspiracy. There you go. Tommy says if he doesn't get a sale every 1.2 hours, he calls and customer service turns the server back on. There you go.
People will never take responsibility for their own action. Not, I'm talking in general. And so eBay has to be at fault when anything goes wrong. It's just the
So tri-state picker. So the custom SKU. It's the easiest way to do eBay. On every item, there is a. If you're doing it on the phone, it's at the bottom of the item specifics. I forget where it is on my computer, but it's very at the very top. The custom SKU is only shown to you, and so just whatever numeric system you use, it could be a filing cabinet drawer, it could be a box, it could be a tub, it could be a whatever. In that custom SKU, like I've got stuff that's sitting on top shelf here. It'll say top of the black shelves. It'll say, because it's a large item, or it'll say bin A1 when I'm being good. Jacob has listed a couple 300 remotes. Every remote has a number, so if it's the remote in the customer SKU, it'll say like 154. I was looking for 171 yesterday. But it shows up very easy. I've got a couple of remotes to ship out today. Come on. Is it showing here on this pick listing?
Steve, I think the only reason eBay would slow down sales
See,
is to
I've got
encourage somebody to do promoted listings.
That's remote 167. So I'll be picking up 167 today. It was like $6 plus shipping. I mean, he's been
Todd, even then, people were accusing eBay of doing this well before promoted sales was a thing.
Yeah.
Well before the red door, blue door debacle.
Right.
I couldn't answer any better. That's why you put the measurements on there, and that's why people ask for measurements, because clothes shrink, and especially ladies' clothes. A 3X obviously on some ladies is not enough to cover the real estate, and on others it's too much. I get that a lot, but that's the wholehearted reason why it's stretch and cut and size. Guys don't understand because an extra large, I'm an extra large. If I'm a size, 36 pants, it's 36 everywhere. It's very, very, very rare. Ask the ladies in your life. A size 8 in one brand is not a size 8 everywhere.
And I was kind of looking at, I've been watching Ronnie's store. I can't think of his last name. He was
Ronnie
at
Hart.
Yeah.
Ronnie Hart.
And I love, oh my gosh, the suits and stuff that he sells. So,
Amazing.
Genius.
but the thing
when it comes to that.
I thought I asked him one time, like, how do you tell if it's been, you know, it might say 46 long on the jacket, but they get, I can't think of what you call it, you know,
They alter them.
altered
Yeah,
all the time. So, you know, that's the thing that throws me on that. I mean, I'm in Dallas, and the reason I hung out after they left was because I want to do thrift shopping. And I looked at all the suits at this one store yesterday, but there wasn't any as good a names as the one he sells.
On Instagram or something, there's a guy. He posts something every now and then. A guy who does thrifting in Dallas. He finds the most amazing stuff.
Let me after the show, Sue. I want to tell you about a secret about suits that you might not know. But
Okay.
it has to be after the show because I don't want everybody in the world to know.
Okay.
So
It's something that maybe you shouldn't do, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
So Trina says, I've been on with a daughter in another state, and they search the exact same keywords and get different results. I think there is a location basis to search, and so that might explain why you think your server got turned off as the time goes. And if you're on this side of the country and California is searching over there, um, it would make sense that they would see more stuff in their area, because what benefits eBay? The fact that it's going to take you longer to ship it, or serve stuff up that meets people's search criteria, but it's closer to them. The chances are, if it's a good seller, they're going to get it faster, and so you're a more positive experience. I mean, it's not a conspiracy. You know, time and the way search and location based search, it's going to be a factor. It happens on Amazon.
I was going to say Amazon's the same way.
Amazon saves them money for Prime customers. If you know, if I'm here or if Dave is searching, you should see a different list of sellers. Are based, and it's not even based for FBM especially, but especially for FBA, because they know what their computers know which warehouse it is, and I'm sure there's a complicated formula. People way smarter than me who figured this out. Where if from the area the item you're looking for, it'll serve up the location, and as long as the prices are pretty equal to you.
So Brenda said, basically, if I'm promoting a listing on eBay, it would benefit eBay to sell the promoted because they get more money. Yeah, I'm assuming that's the gist of what she's saying, but that would also not be legal. They still have to show your item in that list. Now, other people are saying that location-based searching, and that I agree with. I a lot of times I'll buy something on eBay and I get it quicker because I'm buying it from somebody who's closer to me, and that's what eBay shows me, in the list, and that benefits eBay because they're making a sale because you're getting it shipped quicker, you're more likely to buy it. I do not know what all that clicking is.
I thought it was Todd, but it was not Todd.
So, but neither of those things are.
No, I don't think so.
Are blackouts or shutting your store off. Your stuff is still going to be visible somewhere.
Yeah. So Tommy said people don't sleep; they just smash Adderall and refresh eBay. Which I was thinking that I had a rough night last night. I was going to take half an Adderall this morning. So if you see some crazy shorts come out today, understand that I'm on the influence of Adderall, and I might just be crazy excited.
I think you're doing the right thing by releasing all them shorts, by the way. Cutting up old videos and putting them out as new.
But I need to, so I got kind of lazy and we're just started regurgitating some stuff, and I need to go back to making a short where, it's like a video. And so I'm imagine that. I was doing good at shorts and I was putting effort into it, and then when I started just pulling from TikTok, the views kind of went down. Same thing with it's everywhere, folks. If you don't put in the effort and you try to shortcut something, you're not going to get the results that you want. And so so I'm gonna go back to doing less shorts, maybe one or two a day, but a little more planning and effort into them versus what
I think it's still good to cut up the old videos and release them like that, though. But then obviously you got to keep some fresh content there. But it's going to be fresh to the people who are new seeing it too. So I don't know.
Yeah, Wonderbag, you're 100% correct. I've never seen your name, but welcome to the show. It doesn't make any sense. For people to think that they're going to do something to limit their sales, or remember, they don't sell. They have to. If we don't sell, eBay doesn't make money.
Mhm.
I mean,
Except
maybe
if
we're wrong with about that whole thing, but I don't think so. Anything that shuts off sales for any reason does. I'm sure there's rolling blackouts, but they're not what you think they are. You know, you're not getting sales today because the buyer is in California and they're getting. That seems more likely to do that.
so,
You
Brickhouse,
done because some arbitrary reason.
I'm assuming this is to because of the ground advantage. Man, that noise is crazy. All right, we're gonna see who it is.
It's Sue. Yep, it was Sue.
And I muted my mic. Okay, I only have my phone here. And
Wait, maybe it's not Sue. I don't know. Sounds like somebody's typing. Is what
I'm
it
just
sounds
going to
like.
ask my question. I had a question, and then I'll get
You
off.
can
'cause
stay.
It's always
No, you
it's
can
always
stay.
it's always me. And I even checked. I
Please
have the
stay.
echo
It's not
cancellation.
that annoying.
It is annoying, but okay. So yesterday, I found this really old bolo. I don't know if you guys remember these. The
Yeah.
bounce
Oh
back.
wow, that's amazing.
I know,
They're
but
worth.
here's the
Are they still like $150?
no. They're about $50 though. But and I paid $1 for it. And the funny thing is, I walked into this thrift store, and the first thing I saw was a little section of new toys. They had a basketball for $25, and I was like, "Oh, it won't take me long in this store." But that's the place that I looked at all the suits, and now the lawn guy's outside. But my question is, so they 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 still sell every day, but I know everyone else's is just as old as mine, and I don't smell much. So I wonder if does anybody sell these? Has anybody sold them recently? Like, do people expect the smell to be as strong as it was 10 years ago or something?
I haven't seen one in probably a couple of years.
I don't think I've ever found one.
Your ticking went away, by the way.
No,
Well,
I
maybe.
still hear it a little bit.
If you
But
can hear it, then it's not going to be you.
Oh, well, anyway, my question is, would you guys still sell it? And what would you put anything in the listing, or because I wonder if it, like, when it heats up it starts to smell again, or people are using it just for the
I haven't seen one of those in a long time, so I don't know.
No, but you know what? There's still pages of them for sale, and they
Right.
sell every day. But
Yeah, I
everybody
wouldn't.
seems to be as old as mine.
I wouldn't. Yeah, because they haven't made them. I wouldn't worry about it. I just sell it. They're, it's more about static and stuff. I don't think it. I bet
That's what
too.
I'm thinking.
I bet too. The heat also releases part of it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Two Hip Chick says it's heat activated.
Heat
It probably
activated.
says on the box somewhere
Oh, okay.
about that. I'm guessing.
So
Yeah, I can't see the chat because I'm only on my phone. But
yeah, I think you're 100% right. If that's Matt, you get what you get with Best Matt. But I would think once you filter it through price and stuff, the searches should become much more similar.
the other thing I wanted sorry, Scott. Has anybody been to the Goodwill bins in Fort Worth? Because it's going to be like an hour and 20-minute drive for me, and I don't want to go if it sucks.
I have not.
And if anybody, I was kind of thinking the chat, but I can't see the chat, so I'll go back and relook at it. But also, if anybody knows of any really cool thrift stores, and I'm actually in Plano, north of Dallas, and there's a ton of them. I mean, I've already been to 5 or 6 the last couple of days. But if anybody knows of any, shoot me a DM on Instagram. And now I came to the front of the house, and now the lawn guy came to the front of the house. So I'm really gonna go between the static and the lawn guy.
Mark says he's been to that bin store. Not good for him, but he doesn't do clothes. But I don't think you're going there for clothes.
I don't really do clothes either. Maybe I'll skip it then.
Yeah.
All right, happy hunting.
I'd say if you're out that way anyway, I'd stop by just to see.
If I head that way, I will.
Thanks, John.
All right. I'll watch I'll just watch now. See you later, guys.
All right, see you.
I'm gonna come back on at the end though, so I can hear what you want to say.
You
Steve.
need to hear my suit trick. It works for me.
Okay. Bye.
So,
unfortunately, Sue always has some sort of weird issue with her.
So, see, I don't think people at Brickhouse have smart thinking, because if you ship doing just eBay and use the eBay shipping, which a lot of people default to, you don't get ground cubic. It's a good $1 or $1.50 savings on a lot of items using pirate ship to get ground cubic. Don't miss pirate ship usage. So there are some of the UPS stuff is cheaper on eBay. So if you've got a larger item, maybe check them both. But the smaller stuff is almost always cheaper on because of ground cubic. And there's also a UPS Super Save or something that's even cheaper on smaller items. I got the heat activated. Yes. Can somebody please ban RG slots this morning? Thank you. So Brickhouse is using BQuo, ground cubic 692. Yep. I was actually watching your. I think it was a RG. I don't know if it was a regular or a short. You were scanning at Walmart. I mean, imagine that all your videos you're scanning at Walmart. But it was the Glade sprayer or whatever. The 2-pack of spray is half price. So yeah. So see, I do watch. One of the few that shows up in my thing, but it's a key for if you don't do anything else in 2024. Understand how things change. You know, how can you make that a benefit and make it a plus? You know, so many people are so scared of change bad, but change USPS ground advantage, change good. And so how do you make that even better? You know, get the right boxes that allow you to take advantage of the new systems. It's amazing. Are you still paying for priority because I'm going to use the free box? That free box is costing you money. If it's $1.50 savings and you're using the free box when you could have had a 40-cent box, yes, something's not right in your thinking. Chastity, yep. Pirate ship with credit card points, 100%. So Dustin says notice that priority shipping has been cheaper than ground on eBay. I haven't noticed that as much. I've noticed it's been very close. There's been a lot of 720s and ground advantage was 719. There's been a lot of that. Yeah, and you get the dollar. So what's the dollar cash back, RG? Is that in because are you a Walmart Plus or whatever that is? Is that where the dollar back is coming? You didn't explain that for us simple-minded people. Bag in a bag is the cheapest. You don't get bag in a bag unless you do it on pirate ship. I haven't seen it. Maybe somebody I'm wrong, but is bag in a bag an option on VCO? I don't know. So RG says yes. So I'm assuming that means you are a Walmart Plus, and that's where you get it. All right. I buy, scan, and go. I think it's as a Walmart account. Yeah. I haven't used Scan and Go yet, but that's coming soon. Joni has used it and loves it, but I think you still have to go through the register, right? It's not like
you scan a barcode at the register or a QR code at the register, and you can.
But I think if you're at Sam's, you don't even have to go to the register, do you? I think you just pay.
I don't do Sam's.
You don't do Sam's? What? Nope. Me either.
No, Scan and Go works the same way as what I do when I do a shopping order at Walmart for another person. I scan the items as I'm putting them in the cart, and then at the end, I just scan the QR code at the register, and I bag the items. Well, it's the same thing. You just scan the QR code at the register.
Okay, so this is going to Sue. I apologize, Sue. I'm sorry about this. Sue said she has one priority where it was much cheaper. And did y'all hear that in the microphone? I guess my joke didn't go over very well.
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't get it, but I got it now. It took me a few minutes.
And I don't like that about that the eBay site doesn't automatically show you the lowest price. It shows you. Tired of looking at priority. Just show me the lowest price.
Well, because of the way I have mine set up, and probably yours, you just do standard shipping. It automatically gives me priority shipping. So if I'm not thinking that, and I've done it, I just, ship. I printed the label out. So make sure you're going in and checking all the pricing. That's all.
Everybody is telling me that you don't need a QR code, so that's nice. At Sam's, you don't. Lag says you get an extra discount if you put a pizza box in the bag. Little Caesar, something with extra cheese, so you make sure you got plenty of grease in the box, so it slides in there. Yeah. What time is it? 9:35.
Is that a summer sausage?
Yep.
That's 2 summer sausages.
Yep.
Yummy.
When I was younger, our church group, I was in a group called Royal Rangers. Some of you are probably familiar with it. And we would go on camping trips. And I would take summer sausage with me because you don't have to, it doesn't need to be refrigerated until after you open it, of course. And
Yeah, so I grew up Baptist.
Trip.
I grew up Baptist, so we had Royal Ambassadors.
Same difference.
We never went camping though.
Different.
What the heck?
No, ours was all about camping and things like that. It's not anymore. They've changed the program so much I wouldn't even recognize it. But back in those days,
Todd just keeps his meat laying around on his desk.
I'm not making any more comments about the meat on Todd's desk.
Where's Tom this morning? What the hell?
My stupid doorbell alarm keeps going off today, and nothing's showing.
Whose day was it to wake up the old lady, Tom? RG said you're a shower, not a grower.
About 6 inches. Okay. Enough of that.
That's this is the point in the show where it just takes a hard left turn and just the insanity from here to the rest has been crazy.
Sorry.
Every time a large truck goes off, it sets off my doorbell.
Sorry, Sue. Sorry.
So there you go. I can't believe Tommy, you have thought these things through, and it helps your success as a seller. That's such a novel concept to actually analyze what you're doing and to get ahead of the competition. That's just crazy thoughts. To actually have looked at it and go, you know what? If I do this, and it's better for the customer, eBay will think that I'm better than somebody else. Imagine that.
So he's doing the things that eBay suggests. I mean, not the expedited shipping, but if you're doing the things that eBay suggests you do, you have better sales. Is that like promoted listings and free returns? And
so I want to remind everybody that the guys are degenerates everywhere, because not only did we make jokes about Miss AT&T, but we make it about the sausage on the desk. If you understand how guys are in our minds, we're like 99% of the time degenerates. There you go.
I want to add though that I made no joke about the summer sausage. I just, noticed that that's what it was, and I enjoy eating that.
And I'm not going to make any jokes about that.
No, I thought as soon as it came out of my mouth, I realized what I just said.
You said the show was going off the rails, so I figure I better come on.
It's just that
go ahead and take it over the cliff.
Okay, so High Plains Flipper, question about 2 return packages. Oops, wrong one.
But he was right. I was
eBay
making it worse.
customers deliver complaints from a customer. What do you do? So you apologize and you explain to them that the packages, when they are delivered, they get a GPS scan. Please contact your carrier or your local post office to see where they were left and have them do an investigation. You are not, as long as you pay shipping through eBay, and you have a delivery scan, you are covered. Or as long as you have a delivery scan. I don't know. Amazon's the one that has to be Amazon, but eBay, as long as it says delivered, you're delivered. So they will, even if they open a case, you will win with the delivery confirmation. But just be nice about it, and explain, because a lot of people don't understand that when that final scan comes through, that it reports GPS, and so that can help your customer locate an item by they look at the GPS and go, wait a minute, that's 2 houses down from you or whatever. And all the FedEx, UPS, they all do the same thing. So they can tell you. Because I had a cell phone or insurance replacement that when I went up and asked about it, they go, yeah, it was scanned here and at the post office, not at the house. And Jason comes walking back up and goes, it was scanned here and it's still here. Here you go. So I was very fortunate to get the cell phone. But High Pains Flipper, it is amazing that what customers order and forget they order stuff.
I had a customer order a microphone from me. I forget what brand it was. It's the higher end brand, but it was the low end of that brand. And months later, it came back to me in the mail. I don't have any way to see who that went to, and I've never heard anything. So I don't know why they sent it back. I have no idea who sent it back. Customers are weird.
I think all lost mail goes to Lag's apartment in his basement anyway. So, Bother, I'm thinking that's brother, picked up a case of 3-inch paper tape yesterday at Amazon clearance for $3. Do you do you wait? If John sells his, he'll be getting a divorce because Jenna loves that machine.
That thing is so awesome.
Since she does their shipping, I don't think that's John's choice anymore.
She talks better about that machine than she does John.
John talk about selling that machine, he'll wake up paper tape to the bed.
That is the last item I will ever get rid of. Love that thing.
Brenda, they just tolerate me here. They don't actually like the place, so it's unfortunate. And I'm the world's worst about asking people to hit the like button.
If they like it, they like it. If they don't,
I don't have a good stick like John to tell you that you're going to get an eBay sale within 24 hours is guaranteed or your money back. I don't have that kind of stick, so.
Yeah, I already got my money back. Yeah, that works.
I'll just tell you, it supports Lag's self-esteem if you hit the like button. He feels better about himself.
Okay, I need to know what you have in here.
But that's not necessary, Brenda. Thank you so much. I'm just here to teach. I'm here to let people know what I find. I'm going to make a video. Figured out something yesterday that I don't know how many of you guys know about eBay. So I went to list an iPod. Do I know where it is? Yeah, I know where it is. Okay. I went to list this iPod yesterday. It looks very innocent. It's worth about $130. It is a 6th generation, 64 gigabyte. You know what this thing is good for? My desk. If it was a little crooked, I would put it under the desk. The fourth, fifth, and sixth generations of iPods that have the internet and can log into wireless and access. They are now. If this one's iCloud locked, means I bought it in the state sale. It wasn't charged, so I wasn't able to see the. They said I need to get the previous owner email so they can give me the password. But I was at the cemetery last night and I dug him up and he would not tell me the password. So I got the message saying that that cloud, this thing has got a protection on it and it's not allowed to be sold. You cannot sell iCloud locked on Amazon, on eBay anymore.
Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't either until I went to sell that. I've sold iCloud locked as 4 parts. I had it listed 4 parts. I had it in the thing, and the activation lock, it will not allow you to sell anything's activated locked.
So I'd go Mercari maybe on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick it on. What's the other one?
Bonanza. I'd go Mercari before I went Bonanza, but
I did not realize that that's been a recent change. Because the last time I sold a phone, I've sold for parts.
Yeah, I don't like that change. That change doesn't make any sense to me because people can still use parts off of that. And there are ways to get around the iCloud lock if you want to pay some scammer some money, because that's usually what they are. There are legit, but there's never a legit way to get past the iCloud lock. But there are companies that offer a service.
If you mention the iCloud, so people are getting around it by just saying, not using iCloud. They're just using the word lock. They're trying to get around it. But the only thing I can tell you about this is if you try to get around something, at some point it's gonna bite you in the ass.
And if somebody,
you don't want to put your account at risk for something stupid.
Yeah, for something it's just.
Even Tommy says put it in the description, but even in the description, eBay's algorithm is smart enough to pick that up. I've done it before; they pick it up. Not iCloud lock things, but things with expiration dates. I've tried, and it's stupid to do. I mean,
Josh, that is not our sister city. Our sister city is Huntsville, Texas. And why do we want Huntsville, Texas? Because that's where death row in Texas is, and they send them. They put them in death row like cattle in Texas, so that we self-identify with Huntsville, Texas.
Good morning, Alan.
But I think that iCloud lock rule is stupid on eBay. I'm sure Apple pressured them into it.
Yeah, because they told them they were selling stolen merchandise. The problem is Brenda hit the like. The problem is so if you do, I thought you were leaving, Dylan. What the hell?
He said, "I thought she was leaving, Dylan. What the hell?"
Little cameo there.
Hey, did you tell Dylan the story? They should never be repeated.
Yeah, he came home. First thing he asked me.
I told him that was a good one. Make sure you don't forget.
Yeah, he liked that.
Yeah, so I'll make a video about it, telling everybody, because that's a recent thing, I think is. But yeah, the iPod Touch is no good. We've got an auction up there. I'll send it to the auction. I'll put on there that we've got 3 or 4 things that are iCloud locked, and maybe somebody needs them for parts up there or can do something.
I might try Facebook Marketplace on that stuff too. You're in an area of the country where somebody might know how to get past that, and
I think they can do stuff. Okay, so I started to say the problem with this is if you look into it, Apple does a very good job of, at the last keynote they had when they brought out the phone, what they want to tell you about the phone, how green this company was and their initiatives and how good they're for the planet, and they're doing all this crazy shit. But yet iCloud lock is one of the worst things for the planet because there is an assload of tech, because people don't log in. If you sell something or have old devices and finally get rid of it, nobody logs into their iCloud account to delete items so that they can be sold correctly unless somebody is requesting it. And so it means there's a shit ton of tech that is no good. I've
This is
got,
iPhone 4, iCloud locked. I can't do anything with it. iPhone 4.
4. And so
That should
there's so
be
much
there's
that
a limit.
could be used, but they want you to buy another one. They don't care. Once they sell it, they don't care anything about it. Oh, but we'll recycle it. You know, they would tell me this is stolen. No, the fellow passed away. I bought it in an estate sale. Nobody has access to his iCloud account. So what do you do with it?
It should be after a certain amount of time that phone hasn't been used. It should automatically.
correct. And maybe a couple of years would be a good number. You know,
Google's the same way with their. I don't know if there's a bypass for Google, but yeah. Yes, Tom, they did.
Yes, Tom, they did get caught slowing down, and so that's why now phones have battery health on them. So they tell you, and all that stuff that they're doing now with batteries is. And I sold an iPhone yesterday. It was an iPhone SE, and the guy asked, "What about the battery?" And I was very easily to be able to log in, look at it, and go, "It's got 91% battery health." So there you go.
Geez, that's better than my 12. I'm at 87 right now.
So that's the thing. If you didn't know about iCloud Lock, that's the thing. So if you buy an Apple product, they're great products. They work very well. But you need to, if you're at a yard sale or wherever, you need to make sure that they are. And it's as simple as turn it off, find my iPhone, and delete it from your iCloud account. That's all they got. And that iPhone SE yesterday, I didn't even have to turn it off. All I had to do was delete it from the account, and I got an email saying find my iPhone was disabled. So I think they've changed that now, where as long as you delete it from your account, it turns all that stuff off.
But most people won't. You know, if you find at a yard sale or wherever, thrift store or estate sale, those people didn't think, okay, I'm going to turn my iCloud off on this phone. They just solved the phone.
You can pay somebody, but if it ever gets updated, or if it ever gets connected to their servers, it gets relocked, Brenda. So it's not worth the time and effort and energy for this thing. I'll just find a way to get rid of it.
I like the auction idea, and I like Facebook Marketplace for those, because you might find somebody who can use it for something.
Did you know there are no AC in Texas prisons? Are we serious about that, Mark?
That would suck. Of course, you're a criminal, and you don't deserve the best in life, but
We didn't have AC in schools until the 5th grade. So
I know, neither did
that
we.
sounds horrible, doesn't it?
Josh,
we had the old radiator heaters in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah. Radiator heaters, and you open the windows and turn on a fan.
That was it. Yeah.
That's why we're tough.
Josh, I hate that time
So
has
freaking spoiled.
Tommy pointed out that time is not working effectively in Canada because it's still 2023 because you haven't made it back yet. What the hell? Leave
Maybe
the
Josh decided to take more time off.
leave the stepsister city and get your ass to Niagara Falls and let's go live. Jeremy, I'm not sure. That's a good point. You can get an iPhone unlocked if you provide it a death certificate. I don't do it. Do state sale companies have death certificate? I don't think so.
I don't know. I would try. I mean, I'd ask if I thought it would work. You have a good relationship with your estate sale company, so if you got that home, you know, and found out it was locked, call them. I mean, what else could you do? Although I don't know that would work, but you could try.
Larry, that's right. Are you sure? When I picture that
They had schools.
not in school, it's just like Little House on the Prairie, all in one little white building. That's the way I picture school.
One-room schoolhouse.
Yeah.
It's probably not that far off.
Yeah, he's not that old.
The school that my one son graduated from, and my other son went for 1 year. They have a little one-room schoolhouse, and every year they take those kids. I don't know if it's for 1 day or for 1 week. I can't remember, but they take them into that one-room schoolhouse and they teach them in there, just so that they can get a sense of history. It's on the same property, so it's pretty cool. Mark,
what the hell's up with that? It drives me nuts. I guess I'm gonna open a ticket and ask them why does it do that. If I restart the computer, it'll print in like a second or two. Then the next label, 3 seconds. Next label, 4, and it just continually gets worse. So if you've got an item where you've got like 10 of them, go fix yourself some coffee, stretch.
I had that issue too. I'm not sure if I can't remember if it was with Acer list, whatever that list is, or the other one we were using. My mind is just went blank. But anyway, it would print out a label every 3 seconds, and then it would take longer to print out the next one. And if you have 100 items, man. But then I would restart the thing, and it would work fine the next time.
But it slowly gets slower and slower. So Mark, I will ask this our list when I start. I've got to do a shipment today.
Both put in a ticket so they know, or anybody who has that problem. Texas Bandit says reset the spool parameters. I might need a tutorial on that.
Could you send me an email? Tell me how to do that, Phil, because you realize when the day of Infinity, when both our teams lost and I lost brain cells that night, and so I don't know if I can figure out how to reset a printer spool. I'm still in mourning, and I haven't come to my correct thought processes yet.
But I would say everybody who is having that issue that's listening right now to do the same thing Scott's doing and put a ticket in. That'll alert them that there is an issue if they haven't been alerted already.
Yeah, haven't. So I remember it. Put you right there. So Mark, do you use a PC or do you use a Mac? I have mine. It doesn't matter which of my. So I don't think it's a spool issue because it doesn't matter which one of my computers I use. It's done it. So me and Mark are both on Mac. So.
And I'm on a Mac too, and I had the same issue, and this was a long time ago. So because I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah.
It could be a Mac issue.
It is time to shut the show down because the diuretics are saying, "Oh man, if you don't deal with us now, you need to you have to wear a pad."
You don't wear pads?
No. Just shoulder pads.
He's got ass pads. Don't let him lie to you.
I'm out of ass pads, unfortunately. I'd like to sell
One more time.
Did you see what they did, like around the ball drop in New York City? Was we talking about that, or was that me and my kids?
It was you and your kids.
Because they stand around. There's what, 1 million people, however many. Where are you going to go to the bathroom? They stand in long lines, like for a long time to get into this area. If you get out of line, you lose your spot. So they talked to the people about what they did. This guy pulled out like maxi pads, and he said, we stuff these in our pants and then we just pee in them and keep on going. And I was like,
whatever you got to do.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just staying at home.
I know there ain't nothing important enough for me to do that.
No, if I got to do that to watch the ball drop in New York, I'll just sit on my couch and watch the ball drop in Alabama. Thank you.
That's right.
What's that movie where Burt Reynolds had a thing around his weenie and a tube going down his leg to a bottle?
So, Brenda, there's in the description area video, there's my P.O. box, or if you send me a message, I'll give you the street address.
I don't guess they have them, Mark, or maybe they do. And if there's 1 million people, Scott's going to use the brick. Scott's going to use the brick on the side of his building right quick. See, if he would have did the old jug to the side of the leg, he wouldn't even have to get up right now.
I think he's going the other direction now.
He gone.
Well, you don't run that fast just to take a piss.
I've already been twice since the show started. I just get up and leave.
So he can. Todd can leave because he's sitting there like this. All of a sudden, when he leaves the
Nobody
screen,
ever
he's
knows.
just hands
Nobody
pull
ever knows.
away, and you just think he's still sitting there. He's at the commode. He's gone. He's on the toilet.
Yep.
Condom with tube that flows out. That is amazing, Brian. The sneaky leaker.
Sneaky leaker.
Mm.
I'll tell a story before Scott gets back. Cause
Tommy, you have to start carrying a wheelbarrow around behind you to haul them in.
I used to drive escort vehicle for mobile homes. I don't know if you ever seen a mobile home going down the
Yeah.
road.
That's
I
wide
used to
load.
drive the escort. Yeah, I used to have the escort vehicle. And I was the guy who drove the big truck did not stop ever. How he went to the bathroom and stuff, I don't know, but I know how I had to do it. A Mountain Dew bottle. Don't mix up your Mountain Dew bottles though, because that gets, you're putting a yellow liquid in But I had to do what I had to do. I only worked that job for about a year. It was tough.
Sadie talks to no hands. All right.
So that's the subject for today. Everybody learned that Steve was an escort for 1 year. I had no idea. That's an amazing job.
Yeah. I've only ever heard that joke like 7,000 times, by the way.
Ah, man.
I gotta start calling it something else. That was
Yeah.
a good job. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we drove a lot of miles, but
I've got
I was in Pennsylvania, and we'd go all the way to Indiana to pick them up.
You can't be talking about going to the bathroom when somebody's got to go to the bathroom. Dang it. Oh.
Well, you missed the whole conversation about me pissing in a bottle.
You look thinner.
I
He was
figured
still
y'all.
alive.
And Steve was an escort for 1 year. We learned all this while you were gone. How long were
Harlan,
you?
I figured y'all had something to talk about. Harlan was talking about his balls dropping, so I'm like, yeah, they got something to talk about.
Yeah. Tommy joined in that one.
Oh yeah, see, that's terrible. If me and Tommy had the same thought, that's something terrible. It's got to be bad. All right. Yeah, Tommy's taking a swig of pee at UPS. Yeah, that's kind of.
Mm. Nothing like warm Mountain Dew.
All right.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's why you never just drink drinks out of colored bottles. You can't tell what's in them.
Don't go chase.
All right. Well, I hope everybody just listens a little bit. Understand what your strengths are. That's what the big message for today is. As go through self-discovery, and I'm really trying to figure out what schedule works best for me to maximize my efforts. If you fight against yourself, it's probably a losing battle. Figure out what you do best. Figure out how your body works and make that work.
Why am I embarrassed that I was an escort? That should be a good thing.
That's a good thing. You shouldn't be embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for this. You were an escort for trailers and shit. I know better than this. I know the story already.
Oh yeah.
I've got a purple pimp suit if you need to borrow that. If you need to take it to the next level.
Yeah, right.
But he drove an escort vehicle for oversized loads.
Yeah.
I like
so basically he was a porn escort. He was a porn escort for oversized loads.